We had to make a run to Moses Lake yesterday to get some more parts for the solar panel install, and we had decided on flooring several weeks ago. We were deciding, I should say, on flooring several weeks ago. We hadn't actually committed to any one thing yet. There was something that we really liked, and we knew that if it would work out, we would get that. But we were going back and forth on whether or not we wanted to do just a sheet vinyl, like one-piece sheet vinyl, or if we wanted to do like a, click-lock kind of waterproof style flooring that had the planks. Anyway, long story short, we decided to go with the vinyl, the one-piece vinyl, and we really liked this. We got this at a flooring place in Moses Lake. So we picked up 10 feet of this yesterday. It comes in 12-foot long sections. So we need 14 feet by 5'9" wide, so just a little under 6 feet wide. So we've got 10 feet of it. We're going to splice about, in the back portion here, about 3 feet. Somewhere between 2 and 3 feet we'll splice in. And we also got the skim coat, the feather edge skim coat, to put over this floor before we put the adhesive down. And we got the adhesive. So, yeah, I think we're really going to like this. It's a very, it'll go with anything. It won't show a lot of dirt. It doesn't have a lot of grooves in it to collect dirt and crud and make it difficult to clean. So I think we're going to really, really like that. We are installing our flooring today. We got the sheet vinyl laid out here in Leslie and Larry's garage.
Awesome.
They're friends of ours who were watching Bailey while we were gone on the trail.
We're at Camp Carrico.
Camp Carrico Hills. Bailey's in the yard. She's hanging out with her puppy friends, and she's having a good time, and we're out here working. We wanted to come here to do the flooring because they have a big shop with open floor space that we could just lay out this 10 by 12 piece of sheet vinyl here. Without any worry. Jerry has room, but we would have had to have moved
Everything.
all of our tools, all of our supplies, all the equipment we've purchased for the van out of the way just to do this. So we just came in here, swept their floor, got the blower out, blew out all the dust, and here we are.
It's all good.
We've got this laying down to flatten out so the edges don't curl. This is the floor mat that was in the van originally. We've got it just upside down. We had it rolled up, so we want to make sure this doesn't curl either. So when we're ready to actually measure and cut, we'll put this on here, and we're going to measure with extreme extra around the edges so that we know we have plenty when we go to lay it in the van and make all the cuts around corners and wheel wells and whatnots. That's what we're doing today. In preparation for all of that, let me walk over here. We need to sand down. Some of these seams are not completely flush, so we need to sand these seams down so they're flush. And there's a product called Feather Edge that's going to be on here to fill in all the screw holes and these edges, these seams. So we need to do the feather edge in the screw holes first, and any larger gap, we'll do that, and then we'll just kind of do a scratch coat over the whole floor here. Let that dry. It should dry pretty quickly. It's pretty warm out today. Then what? Then we're ready to get the flooring going. We are also going to today take this trim piece that we've cut out the back bits of. We're going to lay it in place, and we're going to drill this out right here. This is the access to, I don't know if you can see it in here or not. There's a screw in here to drop our spare tire. So we're going to get a hole saw, we're going to drill this out, we're going to figure out a way to cover this up and make it look pretty when we're all done, but we'll drill that out, get ourselves ready for flooring prep. We're using a product called Feather Edge Skim Coat. It's a tech product recommended to us by the folks at the flooring company where we bought the vinyl flooring. So we've got enough here to skim coat a small house. And no, not a van small house. We hand mixed just a little bit here, and we're seeing how it fills in our screw holes. Seeing how that works. after we're done doing the screw holes and anything that we feel is big enough of an area to do with an individual application, we'll go and we're going to skim coat the whole floor. So this is kind of trial and error here. We've never worked with this product before.
I don't know if it's going to sink in or...
Yeah, we don't know what it's going to do when it kind of sets up. So we're just doing little bits,
kind of playing here.
seeing how it all works, and go from there. The inside of the van is pretty much ready for us to put the floor down. So we have laid out our factory floor mat onto our vinyl, and we're leaving a lot of extra space on each side. We're going to do about another like 4 inches on this side as well, just so we have plenty to work with. It's probably too much, but I don't know, I'd rather have extra slop than not. So yeah, we're going to trace out extra big all around everything, cut this out, and start dry fitting it into the van and make sure we've got everything kind of where we think we need it. Then once we know we're good, we'll start spreading glue.
Yeah.
And I guess the way that glue works, it's a pressure type adhesive, pressure activated adhesive. So you trowel it on with a real thin, like a 3/16" trowel, and you let it pretty much dry so you can touch it and it's not sticky and tacky to your hand. And then you lay your floor over it and you roll it out. So the pressure is what kind of re-releases the glue, the adhesive, onto the back of the vinyl. It's late in the day already. It's 2 o'clock. This
Well,
took longer than we thought.
Smooth as glass now.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. All right, let's get to measuring and cutting and figuring this pattern out here.
Okay, we have the flooring in the van with just the rough cuts around the edges. And Chris is going around and doing just a little bit more.
Yeah, we're trying to get a little bit more precision to make these corners all match up nice. And also make it easier when we do put the adhesive down that we can just lay it right in place. We're going to get pretty precise around this front edge. And then everything else we'll just trim down to have a better fit, but it won't be perfect yet. I think we can, once we get like the front half glued down, we can manipulate a little bit better. Because I don't know if you can see, but there's like little waves and bubbles that are still present in some of the areas down there because it, like right here, you know, because it won't lay flat. So I think we're going to get up to this these bracing members here as precise as we can. And then we'll just kind of work a little bit more around the wheel wells, get them to fit a little bit more loose. Right now they're very tight. And then we'll start the gluing process, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm working on this edge. We've got the door corner done. And then, yeah, we'll just work our way kind of down evenly. You know, we'll go one side, then the other. See how it all turns out. So I love this floor. I love this.
We still like it.
God, this is great. Things are going so well today. We got the flooring piece cut. We've got it trimmed out, fitting in there just perfectly. I was on what, the last 6 inches? 6 inches of flooring to trim. And I went and sliced the tip of my finger. Pretty much
With a putty knife.
With a flippin' putty knife. We'll show you how I did it later. It's just ridiculous, but we're on our way to the hospital. I think they need to reattach the tip of my finger. Oh God, I'm not a fan of doctors, stitches, needles. I might throw up, I don't know.
No, you're not gonna throw up.
Good Lord. Anyway, Sherry said, well, if it's bad enough for you to want to go in, then it's bad. And as I was rinsing it off in the sink, I'm like, that's pretty bad. So, trip to the emergency room we go here. Good news is I might get a milkshake after. Or maybe tomorrow, I don't know. Anyway, we'll
If you're a good girl.
if I don't, yeah.
Give the nurses
I won't give them
bad time.
No. They're gonna help me. Good news is they'll numb my hand and my finger so it doesn't hurt so much anymore. So that's a positive thing. All right, we'll keep you posted. So follow up from last night. We were finishing the flooring. Bailey, come on, Bee.
There.
We were finishing up the flooring, and I had this much left to trim on the edge right here. That much left to trim before we could end our day. And let me show you what I was doing. So to trim everything, what you need to do is you need to push this into the edge really tight. And I don't know if you can see that little white score mark there, but I was using a putty knife to hold that in. Sherry, can you hold the camera? I was using a putty knife to just kind of get in the corner tight, and if you can see that little white line, just kind of score along the edge so I can see where to come back with the razor blade and cut it so it's a nice fit. And in doing that, holding this down with my hand and scoring, just kind of giving a little scratch mark, I was pushing hard to get the crease and trying to get the line at the same time, and this just slipped, and it slipped and just sliced the tip of my finger. Oh, pretty much almost off. So I immediately flung myself this way and looked at it and went, oh, that's bad. So we've got a little, left my mark here on the
Chris's DNA
on the van floor. So yeah, I got 6 stitches in the tip of my finger, 3 through the fingernail, which was actually really cool. They like take, it's like a little soldering iron thing, and they just burn holes through your fingernail so they can stitch through it. So 3 in the fingernail and then 3 on the side of the finger to close it up. Yeah, I looked at it for a second and said, that's probably pretty bad. Probably can't handle that at home.
with the glue and
Yeah, it bled a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It bled a lot. I had a pool of blood in my hands by the time I got up to the house, and so Sherry said, well, it's got to be bad if you are volunteering to go to the hospital. So yeah, it was pretty bad. So here we are today. We're going to try and finish this off with one less finger to work with, and I will try to not cut off my other fingertips. So that's the update for today from last night. Other than that, this looks fantastic. We are both just thrilled with the way this floor looks. Look at this, you guys. This is going to be great. I almost don't want to build anything on it. I just want to live on this.
there you go.
This is really, really cool. So today we're going to cut this last piece here for the back end. We are going to get that fit, trimmed, ready to go. We'll figure out where we want to put the seam. We'll probably go up another foot with it if we have enough flooring. Get that all done, and then we'll start the gluing process. So, okay.
Yay.
Here we go. And Bailey's going to be our helper today. I think she's geared up and ready to go. Are you ready to be our helper dog today? You be helper dog? Yeah? All right, good girl. We've got the back piece in. I'll go back there and show you in a second. This is our floor. We've got all the cuts made that we need to make. It's a nice tight fit. We're going to do things like trim the excess that's here once the floor is glued down, so there's no movement. You know, if I try to run a knife along the edge here, it could buckle and move. So we'll wait till it's glued down completely to make all our final trim stuff on the edges. Let's go in the back here and show you. All trimmed out around the corners. Again, this overhang will get trimmed out after we're glued down. We're gonna seam the floor. We have, well, let's see. Right about here is where it's gonna seam. So there's a nut opening right there and a nut opening on the other side over there. That's where we're gonna seam it. So it's gonna be just in a little bit from where the bottom piece is. That's where the two pieces will meet, in the middle of the garage. I think we're happy. I think we really happy. I think we really like it.
Chris did a great job of trimming this up.
Thanks. Only one injury. So yeah, we're ready to glue. We're going to make a plan for that. It is going to involve peeling the front section back a portion of the way, setting the glue down. It has to dry so it's not sticky to the fingers, to the touch. And then you flap the flooring back down and you roll it out with pressure, so it's pressure activated glue. All right, let's get on to that next step. I'm not sure if I got a video with a scratch coat or not, but this is what it looks like, basically. And it covers, like, the seam right here. That's nice and smooth, so you're not going to see any of that transfer into the flooring. All the screw heads are smooth. We did go along and sand this when we were done. There were just a few spots that had some ridges. It's the first time we've ever done a scratch coat like that. So there were a few spots that had just a couple little ridges in them, and we wanted to make sure that the seam was good, nice and smooth. So we did sand it, and you don't have to. But like I said, with our first time just doing this, it didn't come out perfectly smooth.
This might not look smooth on camera, but
oh, it's very smooth. It's extremely smooth. So yeah, so all these little, you see these little lines here. So these were just like the ridges in the plywood that would have transferred into the flooring, and it just filled in. Yeah, you didn't know that they were there. Just looking at the plywood, all those little dimples. So it really filled in nice. It's a very, very smooth surface. So we're not going to get any of the little lumps and bumps and seams to transfer through.
That's the hope. We gave
the flooring.
It our best shot.
We did, yeah. So we're really happy with the way this turned out, which means I hope we're super happy with the way the flooring turns out when it's done. So that's the scratch coat. We have the vinyl pulled back. We have swept this out so there's no little shavings from the floor when I trimmed in here. We're going to get ready to spread some glue. We are just about set to put the floor back and roll it. This is dried pretty good. It's just tacky to the touch, so it doesn't like leave residue on your finger. It's just tacky. Got a little thick here, so that's still a little more wet than everything else. So we'll wait just another couple minutes. But yeah, I think we're about ready to go.
Using the roller, rolling in two different directions at approximately 100 pounds of pressure.
First section is glued down. I think that's going to be great. That's already nice and stuck. So we'll wait till that completely dries before we cut the edge here. We'll just run our knife along and just cut that edge. And then there's a little bit of a lip here too. We'll do the same here, just cut the excess off there. We're gonna do essentially the same thing for the rest of the flooring. We're gonna fold the back end forward spread the glue, do all that, and just repeat. So this went down nice and easy, actually. I really did. It folded back over real smooth, fell right into place. Everything's perfect. We're really, really happy with that.
Yeah, we've never used that type of adhesive before.
Uh-huh.
Usually it's thicker and stickier, and you're just pushing around glue and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was real,
Great.
real nice. Real
So far, so good.
easy to work with. So, okay. Just copy and repeat.
Last piece.
Going pretty well so far.
I like the way that this stuff works and smells. And it's low. It's no VOC, right? Or
I think it's no VOC.
no VOC and low something else.
Yeah.
So that's about the best you can ask for.
Yeah. We'll tell you. We'll show you what it is when we're done. We'll show you what we're using. But it spreads nice. I like the way it dries and it adheres.
Don't go down the hole.
Oh shit! I forgot all about the hole. Oh, damn it! All about the hole. The floor is done. Woo! Installation-wise, we still have to just do a little trimming of these edges here. We have to find that hole that I completely forgot about, which is right here, and cut that out to have access to the nut for the spare tire. Rolling is done. The seam looks good. I'm happy with it. I think we're okay with it. You still see a little bit of the blue. I don't know if you can here, but there's a blue chalk line. We snapped a chalk line to know where to cut through both pieces. So
laid one down, glued it, laid the other one on top of it, cut both, made a seam.
Uh-huh. Yes, the chalk line, I don't know if it'll show up on the video here, but I think it's great. I think that looks fantastic. I'm going to come over here and look down here where the lighting might be better.
It's kind of hard here.
Yeah, it is hard in here.
Kind of got weird light going on here.
But this is awesome. I am thrilled. Yeah, we're tilted. I think we're thrilled with the way this came out.
I am. I'm so happy the way that installed.
Yeah, it was real easy. Oh, so the flooring, the products. So let me go over there and show you what we used. So the products we used on the floor, the Feather Edge, they're both TEC products. This is the 330 Feather Edge Skim Coat. We really enjoyed working with that. For Skim Coat, you mix it up really wet and just spread it out. The adhesive, which again we really liked, is the TEC 744. It's pressure release style adhesive. Zero VOC, low odor. Really nice product to work with. And the flooring we got, it's a Wonke, W-A-N-K-E. Wonke is the brand. The color is called Shades of Synchronicity. Really happy with that flooring. Really like the looks of it. We liked the way it turned out when it installed. We liked working with it. It was easy to cut and work with. So those are the products on our floor. We are done with the flooring in the van.
Just have to,
Besides just the trimming, the
final trim on the edges.
the doorway edges. Yeah, we're gonna clean up our toys here and load up the van with our stuff. I think it's 1 o'clock, a little after 1, and we're gonna start heading home. We're gonna get some lunch in town. We got some errands to do before we actually get back to Jerry's. So Yeah, thanks, Leslie and Larry, for letting us use your garage and your space and stay at your house for a few days. Made it really, really easy for us to get that project done. Just be able to spread out in the garage was awesome. So, all right, flooring complete.